licensed New Zealand immigration advisor as well as education advisor. Coming live for the last time in the year 2019 to end the year on a high note. Today is the last working day for me and my wonderful team at AGV Services. We've had a beautiful year, and we thought we're going to have a bit of a break from the hard work we have been doing, and we decided we are going to take a break. So today is officially the last working day for AGV in the year 2019, and we will come back and speak to you again very early in January. We are back on the 3rd of January. But yeah, so it's kind of great to be here. And as you can see, my background is the Christmas tree at my house, and it's all decked up and ready to go into action with all the gifts for the kids under the tree there already. And yeah, it's pretty cool. We are all in the Christmas mood, and everywhere we step out in New Zealand, it's a lot of lights and color, and generally a feeling of joy around in the air. So, and last night, we all went to Auckland and celebrated Christmas evening with some of our students and wonderful clients, and it was great to host a Christmas bash for them. So yeah, you guys, if you go onto our Facebook group or page, you can see the pictures there. But yeah, pretty much the end of the road for 2019, I guess. And it's been a fantastic 2019 for us. I mean, I start every week by showing my license card, but it's not there today because I'm using a different setting to come live today. But yeah, coming live as always on Facebook and on YouTube, both my channel as well as the AJB Global channel, and also on Instagram, where all my wonderful friends on Instagram are also there. So they probably are getting a full view of the TV, which is right behind me there. But anyway, so 2019 was an interesting year for us. We set up our first physical office here in Hamilton, New Zealand. Um, and it was fantastic to have a place where all our students and clients who are coming to New Zealand or already in New Zealand can come and meet us. So, and the rare side of that office is also like a little TV studio where we are creating more and more interesting and engaging and good, honest content for all you wonderful people who are aspiring to come to New Zealand. So that's what happened. Our team grew quite dramatically, not just in New Zealand, but all across the world, especially in India, where our team grew quite exponentially, to be honest. We are now 38 people on the team, and we are beginning to acquire a nice global footprint. So recently we had Shireen, one of our licensed immigration advisors, come and join us from Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia, and then one more of my colleagues called Annie, who used to work out of India, has moved to UK, so she is based there. And then we have another colleague of ours called Noela, who is based in Oman. So we're kind of slowly beginning to spread out across the world. So thank you everybody for the wonderful support we received in 2019, and that includes my awesome team as well. Because you all come to the party for recreating, Arun Jacob's vision, which is what AJV stands for. And for that, I'm eternally grateful to all of you. And thanks for joining the party. It's great to create a good company which people can trust and utilize to create a good future for themselves and their families here in New Zealand. All right, cool. So like I said, I normally share with my about my license number, but I'm not carrying it now. But you know what, just go to the Immigration Advisors Authority website, which is iaa.govt.nz, and just search for me by name, and you should be able to see my listing on the IAA website. So what else has been happening? Last week, I went to visit our friends at the Victoria University of Wellington, and they presented me. There you go, Victoria University of Wellington, and they gifted me this beautiful, wonderful Maori motif, which essentially again depicts the koru, which is indicative of new life. And new beginnings. So yeah, there's this beautiful, wonderful Maori motif which was gifted to me by our friends at Victoria University of Wellington. So a little plug for Victoria University of Wellington, amazing institution, amazing university, and you can't go wrong by going to this institution. I also went and met Genevieve Russo Kung from Education New Zealand. So I actually had a day trip to Wellington, flew in from Hamilton in the morning and got back home in the evening. So I had these two meetings, one with Victoria University of Wellington, essentially to say thank you for all the support they've lent us this year. And of course, I was, Santa Claus come early, so I was carrying boxes of chocolates and wine bottles and giving them. Then I met Genevieve from Education New Zealand, and good conversation, good interaction, and to let her know what we are kind of doing in this space. So yeah, fantastic way to end the year, and always great to get those lovely gifts. And yeah, guys, remember Victoria University of Wellington. Okay, let me see what questions have come in. Sana says, "Hi, Arun. Greetings of the season." Thanks, Sana. Same to you and to your family. Much appreciated. Atif Iftikhar says, "Hello, sir. I have sent you email with documents regarding skill migration. Haven't heard back yet." Hey, Atif, if you have sent the documents, I mean, I'm sure it is being looked at. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of travel, but we are five licensed immigration advisors in the company, and I'm sure one of them will come back and get back to you soon with an assessment. So, team, if you're watching it, please flag Atif's request, Atif Iftikhar, so that one of our licensed advisors can get back. Right, and Jitin says, "Hello, Arun sir. My name is Jitin. I'm an AGV client. Fantastic, Jitin. We love you guys for choosing to work with AGV. Wish you Merry Christmas, and also I'm waiting for my student visa, sir. Till when is immigration closed for Christmas and New Year?" Hey, Jitin, first of all, thank you so much for your wishes, and the same to you and your family as well. Yeah, we are all pretty much now Christmas mode now, and which is why I also decided I'm going to use that as the backdrop today for my live telecast, because last time also I had a few lights in the background, but one of my colleagues said, no, it doesn't look international. So I said, okay, I'm going to sit in front of a Christmas tree that hopefully looks international. So coming back to your query, Jitin, hey, look, uh, Immigration New Zealand will take a break like any working organization for a little while. So are we, but we will be monitoring our emails, and we'll be checking to see that we don't miss any crucial pieces of information from either the immigration department or from anybody else. And as far as your application is concerned, Jitin, I think it should come through, because immigration is aware that Christmas and New Year clashes with one of the peak times in their cycles every year, because February intake is a big one for everybody here in New Zealand. It's one of our big intakes. So I'm sure they'll be at it. So I don't know exactly how many days immigration is closed down for, but they will have staff working, especially in offshore offices like Mumbai, um, where people will be working and ensuring that. And one of the good things that's happened in the last few weeks, months, is that Immigration New Zealand is really, really processing applications a lot faster. And in fact, I sent an thank you and a Merry Christmas email to the head of immigration in Mumbai, I think a couple of days ago, saying thank you so much for all the support that was provided to us and all other clients in 2019. All right, Jitin, so not to worry. I think you are definitely going to get your visa on time, and we will see you here in 2020 in New Zealand. Okay, don't worry too much about it. Okay, Navneet Williams says, "Hello, dear sir. Merry Christmas in advance." Thanks, Navneet. I've been contacted by Mr. Ankit. I think you mean Aniket, and is in process of selecting an appropriate course for me in New Zealand. Could you please tell me the scope of PG Diploma in Health Sciences in New Zealand? Hey, Navneet, thanks for choosing to work with us, and I think you are referring to my colleague Aniket and not Ankit, although the syllables are pretty similar in both the names. But yeah, scope for postgraduate diploma in health sciences is good. We are a true welfare society here in New Zealand, so because of which the health system is pretty up there, and and we are constantly looking at adding more professionals into our health system because we have a reputation to maintain, we have a health system to maintain, and ensure that our people here in New Zealand are being looked after, especially in the areas of, I think, old age care. There has been a lot of demand for health professionals in the recent past, and this particular industry has been negotiating and bargaining with the government pretty hard to kind of loosen the rules around, being able to recruit people from overseas because of the fact that there is such a shortage, and because of the population of New Zealand is aging, so there is a pretty big requirement for people in this particular area. So overall, I think the scope in health sciences looks good in New Zealand because number one, we are a very health conscious, health driven welfare society, but also within our society, certain segments like old age care, for instance, there is a definite requirement. So, anybody coming to do a postgraduate level in health sciences is bound to be well placed to get into our health system. And also because you're going to be coming for a 3 years postgraduate diploma, sorry, for a 1 year postgraduate diploma, and you will end up with a 3 year post study work visa. That's a long enough time for you to be able to find your space. In fact, I remember one of our prior students who came to do a course in health sciences is now very well entrenched in the health industry. And hey, look, what we can do, Navneet, is once soon as you land up here, we could, hook you up with some of our older students who are now well established, and they will also be able to guide you. Plus, AJB is always a phone call away for any advice, even after you guys reach New Zealand, and that's really for what AJB is all about, and that's really what we pitch and say why we're better than other companies is that most companies will help you in being able to get to New Zealand, but most of them will not bother to work with you after you reach New Zealand. For us, our bond with you is forever. So we will work with you while you're still in your country, and we will especially work with you more after you reach New Zealand, because we know this is where you require a lot of ongoing support and advice, and which is the reason we go out and have Christmas parties and other parties and catch up with our friends, with our clients, and who are our friends anyway, and ensure that everybody is being taken care of. Next year, I have some exciting plans to see how we can create better onshore services, but let's leave that for next year. All right, cool. Iftikhar says thanks for the uh, right. Says thanks for the heads up. Really appreciate it. Not a problem, Atif. One of us will certainly get back to your team. If you're watching it, please make sure that one of our uh, licensed advisors does an assessment of Atif's profile and sends it back to him. All right. Cool. And Navneet, I also got a message from Aniket saying that he will be, sharing the courses with you soon because he just received your documents. Okay, so that's the feedback I got from Aniket as well. Fantastic! My awesome team is in the background on Skype as always and helping me out with this live session. Quick catch of breath and a sip of water. Sanjay Vincent says, "Hi Arun, is there any delay in visa approval by INZ? Is NZ visa rejection rate is very high? I just applied my visa through AGV." Hey Sanjay, first and foremost, thanks for choosing AGV. Much appreciated. As I keep saying, you guys are all smart young people, and you have a choice of working with any company you choose. But some of you come and choose to work with AGV, and for that we are eternally grateful. Because we love working with you and supporting you, and likewise, um, we can only grow with your support. So thanks for choosing AGB. Is there any delay in visa approvals by INZ? Not to the best of our knowledge. They are going pretty fast through their visa applications, so not really much of a delay, to be honest. And is NZ visa rejection rate is very high. I don't know where you're getting that information from, but I don't think that is true. In fact, I think the approval rate went up quite dramatically in 2019, and there was also a very interesting shift in the kind of institutions where people, foreign students are choosing to come into New Zealand. So I don't think there's anything to be alarmed about, Sanjo. And I keep telling this all the time, but we run AGV as pretty much a clone of Immigration New Zealand, and we will not accept students if we feel that they are not good enough for New Zealand. And but once we do accept a student after all our due diligence, trust me, we will fight tooth and nail because we believe in you, and we know you will benefit New Zealand as much as the benefit that you will get out of New Zealand. All right, so that's the way it is. Okay, okay. Sana says, hi, Arun. I'm an AGV client. I'm in touch with Jagrati. I've done my bachelor's of physiotherapy from MUHS. I want to ask you if I can practice physiotherapy after doing a level 8 postgraduate diploma in health science. Have dropped on this query on FB Messenger on Wednesday. So, Sana, the your if you do a course here in a level 8 postgraduate diploma in health science, you will not be able to practice as a physiotherapist because for physiotherapy we have the physio board here in New Zealand, and you will need to be registered by the physio board of New Zealand, just like how I need to be licensed by the Immigration Advisors Authority. Unless and until I have that license, I cannot practice. Likewise, unless and until you go through the process of registration with the Physiotherapy Board of New Zealand, you will not be able to practice as a physiotherapist. But because you're opting for a postgraduate diploma in uh, health as such, there would be a lot of opportunities in the larger health sector. But if you are specifically looking at practicing only as a physiotherapist, then I would strongly recommend that you spend some time with the website of the Physiotherapy Board of New Zealand. I think stands for physioboard.org.nz, if I'm not mistaken, and go on to check what are the requirements for you to get registered by the physio board. And yeah, pretty much if you're able to crack it and get through it, then you can practice as a physiotherapist. But even otherwise, by doing a level 8 program in uh, health science here in New Zealand, you will end up with a 3-year work visa. And like I said, there are plenty of opportunities in the health sector, not necessarily or specifically only in physio, but everywhere else. All right, cool. Rajiv Roy, okay, says, share this telephone number, which is fantastic. Guys, as you know, the rules of the game are that you need to share your telephone number. If you're not an AGV client, if you're an AGV client, just put your hand up and say, I'm an AGV client, and I will first clap for you and then give you my answer as well. Okay, cool. So, Rajiv, well done. You've shared your number, so I'm going to answer your question. And your question is, I want to do my master's or postgraduate diploma in tourism. So, are there employment opportunities in New Zealand to work after my studies? Absolutely, Rajiv. This is again an answer I give very often during the course of my interactions with all of you beautiful people out there. But New Zealand is a very, very strong tourism orientated country, and tourism is our largest industry. And because of that, we are constantly looking at good professionals to, enter our tourism industry. So you are opting to do a master's or a postgraduate diploma, which is a very high level in tourism, which is one of our largest industries, if not the largest. So absolutely, and by virtue of the fact that you're going to do either a level 8 or a level 9 course, Rajiv, which is the postgraduate diploma and the master's, respectively. Yeah, you are going to get a 3-year post-study work visa here in New Zealand, and so you're doing a high-level qualification in one of our largest industries, and you're going to have a 3 years post-study work visa. So when you put all those combinations together, of course, you're going to end up in good employment here in New Zealand. And probably the last component that you need to fit in and plug in properly is to work with a company like AGV, because we are present in New Zealand and we are well networked. And not only that, but we are very committed to the success of our students, and we would also like to work with you and ensure that you reach your success and give you continuous, free, and unlimited immigration advice. All right. So please do choose us, Rajiv. But otherwise, very good choices that you're making. Yeah. Sana goes on to ask, what is the scope of physiotherapy in New Zealand? Very good. But like I said, Sana, you will need to be able to first get your registration through the physio board, and only then you will be able to work as a physiotherapist here in New Zealand. All right, cool. I hope that TV in the background is not disturbing you guys, because, yep. And Rajiv, I also got a message from your advisor, Mariam. She says, Rajiv is my student and he will complete his bachelor's in 2020, and that she's going to apply for you for the 2021, which is fantastic. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. And she's recommending a postgraduate diploma in tourism for the October-November intake of 2020. Fantastic. Do that. Strike it while the iron is still hot. Come in so as soon as you can, and and get it, take it from there. All right, and we are always here, Rajiv. Thanks, Mariam, for confirming that he is also one of our students. Excellent. Right, time to catch my breath again, I guess. Okay, so Samant 2000 asks, what is last date to submit IELTS score for February 2020 intake for Wintech? Okay, Sumant, ideally it should have happened by now, because most of the institutions are also going to, if not already gone into their Christmas break. So ideally it should have been submitted by now. But if you have not submitted, please keep it ready, because the moment it reopens, we will get on the phone and talk to the admission office at Wintech and try and ensure that your offer letter comes through quickly. I believe you must be waiting now for your unconditional. So yeah, yes, my teammate Aniket confirms, Sumant, that you have a conditional offer from Wintech. And that you are giving the right, that you are appearing for your IELTS and PTE or PTE, and because that seems to be the one component that is still missing for you to get an unconditional offer. So I would say prepare well for your PTE or your IELTS and write it. Right now, I think Wintech is already closed, but keep it ready, and we will try and uh, send it away the moment they open, and in January we will. And also I would recommend work with Aniket to get all your other documents into place, so act and behave like you have an unconditional offer and you're going into the visa process. So get everything else ready, your police clearance, your health, and any employment documents, so on and so forth. Get everything attested, notarized if required, and our visa officer will advise you about all those requirements. So do everything except that IELTS or PTA score, and take some time, prepare for it, write it, and the moment you get it, give it to us. And because I live 20 minutes away from Wintech, and our office is like 5 minutes away from Wintech. So if required, we will go personally and sit with them and try and get your admission through, so that you can come for the February intake. All right, Sumant, all the very best for your English. I'm sure you'll crack it this time. Okay, cool. Okay, Rasik Shrestha, can I get support from AGV as I reached New Zealand? I want to connect with AGV. Well, Rasik, I mean, to be honest, our support is only for our students at the moment. We are not able to offer our services, especially the unlimited free immigration advice and so on and so forth. Because of the fact that we are very focused on providing services to our AGV clients at the moment. But you can become a paid client for AGV if you're already here in New Zealand and you want some further immigration advice, or you need some other kind of services. Do give us a call. Our number here in New Zealand is 0800 696977, which is 0800 which stands for 0800 my NZPR. And depending on what kind of services you're seeking, we would certainly be able to give it to you on a paid basis. So do get in touch with us, Rasik, and we'll see what's the best we can do for you. All right. But by and large, for you guys to avoid this situation where you have to come to New Zealand and then end up paying for our services, it's best if you come to New Zealand as an AGV student or a client, and then we offer pretty much unlimited amount of immigration advice free of cost. And only when it comes to an actual application, we will then tell you, hey, look, it's going to cost you X amount of money. And even in that, we do give a lot of good discounts to our AGV students. All right. So all the best, Rasik. Do get in touch with us. As I told you, we are closed for a few days up till the 2nd of January. So get in touch with us on the 3rd of January. All right. Cool. Hey guys, I've said this a couple of times that we are closed for the Christmas and New Year break. So some of our students who are out there watching this right now and whose visa applications are already with immigration, please do not worry. We will keep an eye on our emails or any communication from immigration department to ensure that we don't lose out on any important communications. All right. So please don't have panic attacks or freak out thinking, my God, these guys are going to shut shop and go away. What's going to happen to my visa application? It'll all be under control. I promise you that. Okay. Cool. Navneet, thank you, sir. That was so helpful. I would like to notify you that I have already submitted an application at University of Canterbury for the postgraduate diploma in health sciences. If that goes through, will it be possible for me to get back to you guys in New Zealand? I'm planning to come for July 2020 intake. Navneet, as I told you, we don't like to work with students who come to New Zealand through other agencies. We like to work with people with whom we have a relationship from start to finish. So we're not saying we will not work with you, but ideally we would like to work with people who have initiated the entire process and are with us, so that we have the entire history. And so all the way from student till you become a resident is the kind of. So if you're going to come through somebody else, I would really recommend that you work with that agency, and hopefully they have a presence here in New Zealand, which I doubt, to be honest. But if you want to, after you do come to New Zealand and through some other agency, and you want to work with us, like I said, we will provide you advice, but we will charge you for that. And just so that you know, we charge a minimum of $200 per hour, because that's the going rate for good advice on immigration side of things here in New Zealand. And if somebody wants to talk to me, I charge $300 per hour because I'm the senior advisor here in the company. But for my AGV students, no problem. I will get on the phone and I'll talk to them for hours together and not charge them a single dollar. So if you're so sure that AGV is going to be helpful, you must come to New Zealand through AGV. It does not matter if you've already applied for the University of Canterbury through somebody else. Get in touch with us, talk to us, and we will see if we can resolve the situation. All right, for you and for us and for everybody. Okay, cool. All right, Zishan Kram says, hi, I'm Zishan. My mobile number is so and so. He's from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Hi, Zishan. Hope you're doing well in KSA. He's a civil engineer and his wife is a dental surgeon. Do we need to get any other certification for practicing a profession? And kindly brief about the program and the requirement for applying for PR immigration. Hi, Zishan. Good profile, good background. Um, you have not mentioned how many years of experience you have as a civil engineer, or your wife as a dental surgeon. Profiles are very good, and you're the kind of people that we want to attract into New Zealand and make you into our residents and future citizens. But bear in mind that the rules have changed for direct residency to New Zealand. Earlier, it was possible that you could apply for direct residency to New Zealand, but what happened was that they changed the rules around a little bit, where now you have to have either a job offer in New Zealand, or you have to be employed in New Zealand, or you should have studied in New Zealand for at least 2 years, and you should have graduated with a master's or a PhD. And if you can tick off one of these two boxes, is when you can apply for a residency in New Zealand. But without that, if you're still getting 160 points, and you can email your CVs to us at immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com. And what we will do is we will check to see if you're still getting your 160 points. Because if you are getting 160 points, but if you don't have a job offer in New Zealand, or you have not studied in New Zealand, potentially you could get something called the a skilled migrant category job search visa, which allows you to come into New Zealand and be able to search for a job in New Zealand. And when you find the job, then of course you tick that box which says that you have employment or an offer of employment in New Zealand. So direct residency is kind of almost ruled out decision. So the only way, and which is why we strongly advocate that, especially couples like you, it will be great if your wife can come here to do a course at a master's level here in New Zealand, and you can then accompany her on a work visa. And if she comes for a master's, potentially she and you could get 1 plus 3 4 years of work visas, and that's a long enough time. And with the support of a company like AGV, which is present in New Zealand, I'm sure you guys will be able to tick off all the boxes that are required to be able to apply for residency in New Zealand. And that's the reason, I keep advising people like Navneet and everybody else who are keen to see their journey in New Zealand end with the logical conclusion, which for a lot of you is your PR, as you keep calling it, or your permanent residency. And we're very happy to, work with you on the journey, but just bear in mind it's a complicated journey, it's a long journey, and which is why I insist, and suggest very strongly that you work with a good company like AJ from start to finish, because it's like going, if you want good health, you will try and maintain a relationship with the same doctor over a period of time, and the doctor knows your entire history, and that's the reason he or she will be able to predict what's happening with your body and kind of do remedial measures sometimes. Likewise, we are legal advisors, and if we know your history from start to finish, it makes our job so much more easier and makes your dreams come true so much more faster, because then there is a proper match. But you end up in New Zealand through somebody, and then you come to us. No, we will have to spend some time to understand your background, but ideally we like to create and work with you guys from start to finish. Okay, so anybody out there listening to this broadcast now or from eventually, it'll be fantastic if you choose to work with AJB from start to finish. I promise you, we'll hold your hand and walk through some of our clients all the way back from 2004 are still our friends, and they still keep calling us for advice. And we're happy to provide that advice to them. All right, cool. Hey team, I hope I'm doing well. I'm just trying to say anything from my team at the moment. Do, 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 do. Right, a couple of comments there, but I will talk. I will read them out when I come there. Okay, cool. Rajiv Roy says, "I'm from Hyderabad, sir. When are you coming to Mumbai? I want to meet you personally and discuss about my masters and PGDM in tourism." Rajiv, not required at all. I swear, I mean it. Not that I don't want to meet you. I would love to meet you. I'm most likely going to be in Mumbai in February again, but not that I don't want to meet you, but you are working with a crack A1 team for New Zealand education and migration. I mean, just go to our website, agvglobal.com, and go to that tab which says team, and just take a look at the kind of professionals that are present in that team. So, not required that you have to talk to me only, Rajiv. I can tell you there are so many of my team members who probably know more than I do, because some of them have been ex-immigration officers, some of them have been in the industry for many, many years, some of them are fellow licensed advisors. I know you guys would love to talk to me. I would love to talk to you as well. I'd like to talk to you about Hyderabad, because I'm also originally from Hyderabad. But as far as your course and your papers and what happens while studying, after studying, trust me, just continue to speak to Mariam, and she will be able to give you the best advice possible. And Mariam's team leader, who is an ex-immigration officer, is the next person you can speak to. And if you still want a senior person, then we have 3 senior managers, and then there's myself. But there is just so much of depth of knowledge in our company that you guys don't have to come and talk to me only, as much as I would love to talk to you. But anyway, I'm going to be hopefully be in Mumbai in February, hopefully, fingers crossed at this stage. But my team is kind of becoming so independent. Just talking about the team, last time I asked them, saying, so when do you want me to come to India? They're like, why do you have to come to India? I was like, okay, looks like my job is done there. But all the best, Rajiv. Continue to stay in Mariam. She's a fantastic advisor, and then there are a lot of other people in the team who can advise you. All right. Shamal Parekh says, Happy Christmas to Team AGV and all the clients. Best wishes for the upcoming new year. Thank you so much, Shamal. Same to you. And I know you are an AGV client and that you were working with Catherine, who is one of our fantastic advisors. And you also worked with Grace Daniel, who was our one of our fantastic visa officers. And I know you also received your e-visa to study at Unitech. So many congratulations, Shamal. Look forward to seeing you here in New Zealand. And thank you so much for your kind wishes for Christmas and New Year. Same to you and your family. And I hope to see you here in New Zealand soon. All right, cool. Shajay Kumar says, come there, tourist visa, can able to get job, give you guidance. Okay, Shajay, your English is very suspect. So first and foremost, you might want to work on that if you have any aspirations of succeeding in New Zealand. You have not shared your number, so I will not be able to give a very detailed answer. But there is a video of mine on my channel which says, can I come to New Zealand on a visitor visa and try to find a job and settle down there? So have a look at that. If you want a more detailed answer, you'll need to share your number with me. All right. Cool. Next one, Dulan Vikramasinghe shares his number. Thanks, Dulan. Hi, can I work for a different job than that I applied in than that I studied in New Zealand and still work towards residency? Okay, Dulan, I think your question again is very pertinent, and that is where we provide a lot of ongoing advice to our clients because we tell them that there is a word called relevant. So the course that you study and the job that you pick up eventually has to be relevant to each other, and that is the only way you will be able to progress further with further visas in New Zealand, whether it is a resident visa or other essential skills kind of visas. So yeah, the relevancy has to be there, and a lot of times something completely not related can be relevant. I have a friend who is a doctor, but he's also studied 3D animation, and so he could potentially become a website builder for a hospital because he's got that background in both medicine and that. So might be a slightly far-fetched kind of an example, but the relevance is very important. So the word is relevant. And Dulan, if you're planning to come to New Zealand, you will require, in fact, our AGV students, we tell them, we coach them saying, guys and girls, the moment you get a job, send the offer letter to us so that we can tell you whether that job is good and relevant to what you studied in New Zealand, and whether it'll help you to get further visas, including your resident visa. So that's the sort of support we are providing. We are very proud about it. But Dulan, like I said, the word for you is going to be relevant, and I would strongly recommend if you're still in Sri Lanka, if you're planning to come to New Zealand, please consider working with AGV because then you will get that constant advice, and then we will let you know as legal advisors what is relevant and what is not relevant. And I think we've saved a lot of money, time, and effort for so many of our clients because we've been telling them that from the time they get an offer or even during before the interview, we tell them saying that okay, this will be a good job to get, or this is a job you don't need, so don't waste your time with that. And I think in that process we've really helped a lot of people. Okay, Dulan, so do consider working with us. And yeah, you might think AJB has no office in Sri Lanka. Doesn't matter. We don't have an office in Egypt or Singapore or China or Brazil or so many other countries, but Philippines. But we have clients from all these countries who have come to New Zealand through us, and they're part of our AJB family. We've had so many wonderful clients from Sri Lanka, by the way, and I can think of Tiran. I can think of so many Sri Lankan clients, who came to New Zealand through us. So yeah, we would love to work with you. Okay, cool. Muhammad Abdul Ijaz says, I've good academic record and want to pursue PhD in New Zealand. Hey, Mohammed, good choice. We are encouraging people who want to do research to come to New Zealand because we would like to get some fantastic researchers into our country. We are not big on manufacturing and so on and so forth. So, we would rather become a soft power and that is the reason that we are trying to encourage soft skills, or soft power, like research and that sort of stuff. So yeah, warm welcome to come to New Zealand. Lots of advantage in doing a PhD here in New Zealand. Number one, you don't have to pay international fees. You can pay domestic fees. Number two, if you're married, your spouse will get a full-time working visa, and of course, you could also be working full-time as a PhD student. Number three, if you have kids, then your kids would be considered as domestic students, so they would get pretty much free um, education. And number four, very, very high chances that you will settle down in New Zealand after doing a PhD, because you're the kind of people we want to attract and retain in our country. So I have one video on my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and search for Arun Jacob, and within that my channel again, you can further drill your search down to PhD, and you will see there's a video which talks about the advantages of doing PhD in New Zealand. Have a look, and then we will get in touch with you. When our team gets in touch with you, please talk to them, share your information, and we'd gladly help you to come and do a PhD in New Zealand. Okay, and if you have a family, then we can also help them to also get their visas and be present here in New Zealand. All right, cool. Rightio, moving on. My team is awfully quiet. Hey guys, do you like the background which I put of the Christmas tree? And last session, Sai said that my lights were not looking good enough, so I decided I'm going to sit in front of the Christmas tree today. Right. Oh, there is somebody called Heli Girichu. Hello, AGV. I'm from Ethiopia. I have BSc in computer science and MA in project management. I want to continue my PhD in strategic management in New Zealand. Can your office handle my queries? Absolutely, Hali. I think I just answered about PhD. We've worked with a lot of clients from Africa, by the way, and we would love to work with you as well. So just email your CV to immigration advisor at ajvglobal.com, and we will pick it up from there. But yeah, we've already worked with plenty of clients from Africa, Uganda, Kenya. I can't recollect if we work with anybody from Ethiopia, but most certainly from South Africa and many other places. All right, Egypt as well. So please do get in touch with us. Abhishek Kalatal says, chance of getting job in New Zealand after completion of postgraduate diploma in mechanical. Very good, Abhishek, because practically all kinds of engineers are in our skill shortage list at the moment. And, as a country, as an economy, as a nation, we are trying to attract engineers into our country. And that is the reason we have something called the long-term skills shortage list, which is published, and it is an official document that sits on the immigration department's website, and you will see practically every kind of engineer is listed in it, including mechanical engineers. So we would love to work with you, and connect you to some of our previous students who have completed their mechanical courses here in New Zealand and now well established in their careers, and some of them have also gone on to get residency as well. So it's important for you. You work with a good company like AGV. Just go to our website, agvglobal.com. We have an 0800 number set up for India, which is, sorry, I think in India it's called 1-800, which is the toll-free number. So the number in India is one moment. Yeah, in New Zealand, the number to reach us is 0800 696977, and in India, the number to reach us is 1-800-103-6525. So these are all toll-free numbers, and you can reach us. But yeah, very good scope, Abhishek, and I can already think of a lot of our ex-students and clients who have established themselves very well in the mechanical field. So we would love to connect them to you, but for us to do that, you'll have to work with AJV. So thanks for sharing your number. Our team will get in touch with you and have a chat, and work with people who live in New Zealand. So right now I'm talking to you from New Zealand. I'm not some guy sitting in a a little office in Delhi or Mumbai or some other place. I'm talking to you from New Zealand, and when you guys ask me questions about New Zealand, I can speak with a lot of authenticity because this is my country, this is where I live, and I know what happens exactly here on a day by day basis. Okay, cool. Pooja Pradeep, hi. I would like to pursue masters in business there, and I have completed MBA in Kerala. My husband is currently working in Singapore as an instrumentation engineer. We are planning to migrate to New Zealand. Can I get residency there? Good backgrounds, Pooja, and I have my team shared a little bit of background information. Uh, Yeah, Pooja, so I have a background that you have 4 years of work experience as a deputy finance manager, which is great, and your husband is working in Singapore as an instrumentation engineer, as you already mentioned, which is also fantastic. So, Pooja, I just explained very in detail to somebody else who asked me the same question whether they can get a direct residency here in New Zealand. It's almost impossible because of the rule changes that have occurred. But if you want us, we can do an assessment to see how many points you're getting, and based on that, I think your husband might have a chance if he's got 10 years or more of experience of getting to 160 points, and he may be able to come, not together, only he may be able to come. And I keep using the word may be because these are all only probable steps. He may be able to come on something called the skilled migrant category job search visa. So we are happy to assess and let you and your husband know what, but you definitely will not, because your background, which is in finance, is not something that is in the skill shortage list of New Zealand here at the moment. So because of which um, you will, I can tell you as an experienced licensed immigration advisor that it's highly unlikely you will hit 160 points. But which is why we are recommending very strongly the study plus settle pathway, especially for couples. You guys have a great background, by the way, a fantastic backgrounds, and potentially you could come here for doing a master's, as you rightly identified. So what if you already have an MBA? You could do like an MBA, and perhaps come and study at the University of Waikato, which is about 10 minutes in that direction. Fantastic MBA program they have, and our students are doing really well. So if you come for a master's, your husband can come along with you on a work visa, and because he's instrumentation engineer and is also experienced in Singapore, which is considered it's called labor market, which is comparable to New Zealand. So I think he'll be looked upon very well. I have a feeling that if you can come for your masters and your husband comes on the work visa, within the first year, I think he will crack a really good job, because engineers are in a skill shortage, and because of that, I guess you guys will be able to get your residency very quickly, and it has happened with a lot of our clients. And just reading from your background, I think you guys would also be that set of that couple who will be able to do this quite well. All right. Okay. And how much more longer do we have? Okay, guys, I might have to cut short this. Uh, I might have to cut short this session a little fast because I brought my laptop here, but I forgot to get my connecting power cord. And so I just got a notification that I have only 6 minutes of battery left. And I was anyway coming to the end of my session, but also I'll quickly breeze through a couple of questions, and then I might have to uh, write. I might have to wind it up very quickly. Okay, Pratibha says, I'm a student at University of Canterbury and I've gone through AGV, still waiting for an update on my spouse visa. Kindly throw some light on that. It's been 5 months. Pratibha, they are processing the spouse visas, and so they are coming through. I think it's only a question of time. But we Mary and the other licensed advisors like Tulika and Navya are talking to us. So Tulika and Navya, if you are listening to this right now, and if one of you is handling, if it's more than 6 months, it has to be the handled by either Tulika or Mary. Just send an inquiry to our LIA hotline anyway and get a status back about what's happening with Pratibha's spouse's application and send it back to her. All right? Yeah, cool. Pratibha, the visas are coming through sometimes due to health issues or whatever. It can take a little longer, but don't worry. I'm sure it will come. Okay, right. A lot of people have said Merry Christmas. Thanks, guys, and so I wish you all the same as well. Okay, so I'm going to rush through this a little bit because I can see this little red light blinking says 4 minutes of battery left. So Srikant Krishnamurthy says, "Hey Arun, I'm a great fan of your videos. I'm applying for masters in IT through AGV. Can you please provide your inputs in securing a job in IT after a couple of years when I complete my course? I would like to know the reality of IT jobs in New Zealand, and also I wanted to know if I will be eligible to apply for a lecturer job after completing masters in IT." Hey, Srikant, fantastic background, and absolutely, we have a good score for IT people here in New Zealand, and absolutely, you could also work as a lecturer if that's your interest. In fact, I can think of what's his name. One of my students is called Anurup. Anurup came to New Zealand, and he also did a master's, and is now working as a lecturer. But I don't think it's for IT, it's for electronics. So absolutely, and don't worry about IT jobs, Srikant. We will connect you to a lot of our